Right, so today I want to make another matching set. That is my X-Shot set, so now I want to do something to match my Rapid Red. Again, with these it was similar but not quite. With that I think I'm going to do something a little different. So yeah, we'll have a look. So for those who don't remember, the Rapid Red that I painted up, pink and white on one side, and then blue on white on one side, on the other side. Read into that what you want. Kept all the fittings, the oranges and the blues, didn't paint them, just painted the shell. Paintwork hasn't lasted very well, and to be fair I've not really used it, but the idea of having something to go with it appeals to me. So that being said, I've got a 4 victory. I'm going to do something similar in terms of colour scheme, but the actual paint job itself is going to be different. Again, going to keep the pinks and the blues and the oranges. It's literally just the purple and the grey of that shell, and then we might do a few internal modifications. Not that there's much you can do with hammer prime blasters, but we'll have a look see. Right, first job, crack it open. Right, the main feature on this blaster is going to be the externals and the paint job. Internally, in terms of spring upgrade, because it's a very narrow hammer prime spring, the best thing to do is to actually pack it out with some washers. I find not much, but I mean I've got some little fabric washers that will sit very nicely in there just to compress the spring a little bit more, so you get a bit more kick. One of the things that I noticed, I don't know if it'll pick up on this, but we'll put me light through it, there's an awful lot of dead space in the chamber there, so I'm going to pad the plunger. That should take care of that, and obviously re-grease it, but where that light's showing through, that's dead space, so the plunger doesn't quite go all the way down. For that I've got some furniture pads, and one of these larger ones down the bottom here should work absolutely fine, just to take up that dead space and to pad the plunger as well. Other than that, nothing else internally, it's all going to be external. So I'll start stripping the guts out of this, put it somewhere safe, and then start working on the shell. So a couple of things when disassembling this blaster. First off, all the screws are the same size. Second off, the metal pins will stay in the handle. That doesn't matter because we're only spraying the outside. And then the pink section is clipped on in one of the Nerf clip things. There's only in one place, and that's going to be a bugger to get off, so I'm just going to trim one side and hopefully it'll just lift out. And then when I pop it back in, the friction of the two halves screwed together should hold it in place, because I don't want to paint the pink bit, I just want to paint the purple bit. I also find that keeping the bits in a pot of some description means you ain't going to lose them, so that's always a good idea, is keep your old butter or margarine tubs. So yeah, right, start getting these bits out. Right, so these are going to be the bits I'm painting. One thing I know I've learned is that whatever ink it is that they use on the Rebelle blasters, or just Nerf in general, it doesn't like primer, so that needs to be sanded down completely. It also gives me a chance to get rid of any mould lines and safety text and stuff like that, and just make it nice and smooth so that the primer will take to it. So that's the next step, the joys of sanding. So that's everything rubbed down, literally just some 80 grit sandpaper followed by some 180 grit sandpaper, and then just give it a wash off just to get rid of the dust. Now we move on to the primer. It doesn't have to be a brilliant finish because of the effect I'm going to be using on these sections. These are going to be white, so I do need to pay special attention really on the primer on those. These two bits not so much, but at least I've got the ink off and the bulk of the embossment and stuff is gone. So yeah, now we're going to prime. Okay, so the handle has been gloss whited and lacquered, so I can leave that overnight to go off now. And now we can move on to the top coats of these pieces. So those are now going to sit there, and I'll reassemble in the morning because it's getting on a bit and it's starting to drop cold. It is February after all. Next. So for the top coat, I want to use glitter. It's one of the most used craft materials, but you just don't see it in Nerf very often. Something I wanted to try for a while. I saw a YouTube video where somebody sprayed a remote control car and then just poured glitter over it, shook off the excess, and jobs are good. And so that's the plan here, is I spray the top piece silver while the paint's still wet. We chuck the pink glitter on one side, we chuck the blue glitter on the other, leave it to dry for a bit, shake off the excess, and then lacquer it. So this is yet another experiment which could go horrifically wrong, but you know, it's worth trying, because you don't see many blasters that actually use glitter, if any. You get glitter effect paints and stuff, but you very rarely use actual glitter, so we'll give that a try. So first attempt is a little patchy on the blue. I think the answer is more paint, because I'm just literally spraying the silver on the top and then chucking the glitter over it so that it sticks into the paint. So I think a little more paint on the pink side, then we should be alright. I'm just using a couple of old pizza boxes just so that the glitter doesn't go everywhere. Literally spray it, chuck the glitter over it, and then pour the excess off into there, then recover it, and then pour the excess off. So, you know, we'll see how that works on the pink. Well, here it is in all its ridiculous glory. Again, blue on one side, pink on the other. I'm pretty sure I mirrored the colours on this one, and it just makes me smile because of the lunacy of it. I put glitter on a Nerf gun blaster. It sheds glitter like a cheap Christmas card. The edges didn't get any glitter on it, which is good because it made it easier to put together, and also meant the hammer isn't being restricted by it. I haven't had to scrape anything out of the way, but I think it's pretty cool. So I guess now we do test fire and then some pretty pictures in the sun. But yeah, this is just ridiculous, even for me. A full glitter blaster. It's stupid. But there we are. Just a quick range test on the old glitter thing. I don't think the modifications have made any difference because of the Smart AR, but it's definitely made it more efficient, because obviously now the spring is fully compressing and all of the air is getting out of the chamber, but the Smart AR, it automatically restricts that. So we're just going to do quick 4 shots with some zero darts, see how we get on. You know, they shed 35 feet give or take. And obviously with the Smart AR as well, as it moves chambers, performance gets slightly less. So, you know, that's not bad for what it is. It's more about the paint job. Let's tidy up and take some photos.